We are back to Hidden Marta, and in this episode it's not too hidden. So what we're looking at in green is the Proctor Creek line, which is GCC Dome Station, Vine City, both of those two first stations, and that semicircle representing 5 points. They're very near, just like last video. Ashby, and then Bankhead right here. So this in green you see is the Proctor Creek line, and Bankhead is the only station that is not on the blue line right here. So 1 or 2 years ago, they announced that they're going to make um, Bankhead Station a full, to be able to accept 8 MARTA car links or 6 MARTA car links like the rest of the stations. And this is one of the designs of it, and people were excited. They were like, "Oh, they're redeveloping. Maybe they will expand the station. This is a definitive proof that they're going to expand MARTA, maybe to we'll see. Like maybe it will expand." And this is one of the plans right here, right? I think someone drew this up, or I think MARTA think tanks, where it would go with northbound, it would go in the Art Center or something like that. The Art Center unused tunnel that was supposed to go to Cumberland. This is just one of the many designs that it might work. Psych! MARTA leads sneak peek of new rail cars in action. MARTA's new trains comes in 4 car sets. 4. So they're kind of forced to do this, rather, because uh, exactly it comes in sets of 4, and it's open gangways, so that's good. But yeah, our hopes and aspirations kind of are broken. But technically, we will see some MARTA heavy rail development, and maybe someone will decide, oh, we can push this further. Bankhead Station is a very peculiar station. Towards the terminus of the rail, we see both the east and the west lines collapse into one single line. As we go to Gary Avenue Northwest, it collapses into a single line, and then it ends where that X is. So I drew the little red lines and the X. And it's that part that they want to turn into a full station, as we saw that diagram. It looked a lot like Hamilton E. Holmes Station. So we all know, for passenger trains, the terminus usually is ahead of the station. Well, there's some rail to nowhere, and then there's the end where that X is, basically. So they're going to have to build more. They're going to pretty much make 2 east and west rail lines fully, and they're going to have to build it out further beyond that X right there. So yes, technically we will see heavy rail construction, which gives me an idea. But first, we're going to go back to the map from the 80s and the 90s. Again, Perry Holmes was originally designed to go after Bankhead Station, as you see in MARTA's West Line, Perry Holmes Station. Now, this didn't happen at all from the 80s and the 90s because the housing projects were torn down, thus preventing them from constructing Perry Holmes at all. The new people, I guess, moved in. They weren't so fond of MARTA, or they didn't really care. But originally, it was supposed to go to Perry Holmes Station. That's another unknown station, like last episode's Brownlee Boulder Park. Except Perry Holmes died in the 80s and 90s. There was no modern reattempt or revamp, for the idea. So, yeah. And this is where Perry Holmes Station would have went through roughly, as you see Perry Boulevard Northwest. So and there's a library, and I should have put it in the slide, but there's a very interesting inn further up where you go, and there's a little bit more restaurants not pictured on the screen. So yeah, this is pretty much where the rail line would have been had the housing projects not been torn down. Again, before my birth in 1995. Before that, yeah, they tore them down. How about Perry Holmes becomes the reservoir park? So as I mentioned a couple slides ago, they have to extend the rails anyway because they collapse into one rail line plus that entire area they want to turn into the station, into this new Bankhead station. So they're going to have to build more heavy rail. Why not have a Marta station that can actually go to the west side reservoir park, right? There might be some power lines, but you can go under those. I mean, you don't have to dig or anything. Just literally just build like you're regularly going to build the tracks. And it will be interesting. And plus, I think this is going to be the opportunity for Marta to debut a very simple station. All the rest of the stations are concrete complexes or concrete megastructures, as many people like to point out, such as West End, Garnett, West Lake, a little bit, all elevated, all have a lot of concrete. This could be a flat station, right? Of course, you're going to have to walk up some steps on the platform to get to the train. So kind of have a little passenger, um, a passenger train Amtrak type thing, but it's going to be completely flat. It's not going to be elevated at all, and I think that's interesting because it's not even like one. It's barely a mile or 1.2 miles, 1.1 mile away, and maybe they could close it up early. So I think that makes sense, because they got to build the rail anyway, right? Because they're trying to expand Bankhead, and they have to expand it in that area that I mentioned. So, and yeah, that's that basically. So let's go back to. I just want you to see, yeah, this that slide again, basically. Wait, here is a better picture of what they want to build, basically, right here. That's the better picture right there. All right, I'll catch you later.